Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda and I'm from amandacrochets.com, and in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this wonderfully textured waffle stitch baby blanket. I used a self-striping rainbow yarn for this blanket. However, you can use any yarn that you would like to complete this blanket and make it your own. So as you can see, this is a very textured blanket. And if you see up close, it kind of resembles that waffle effect. So this is a nice thick blanket that you can use for a baby blanket or a throw blanket, or even just a baby play mat that you can lay your baby on top of. The possibilities are really endless. You can also make this into a scarf or a cobble, which I have on my channel. So I will go ahead and link those blogs below just in case you're interested in checking those out. It uses the same design, just on a smaller scale. So again, this is what your blanket looks like. And the blanket is going to be different on both sides. So this is the front of your blanket. And then if we flip over to the back, this is what the back of your blanket looks like. So again, you have that waffle effect on the front, and you have that textured on the back. So let's begin today's tutorial where I show you how many chains you need, as well as I go through the blanket, I show you how to change colors and what to do if your self-striping yarn doesn't always match up with the color sequence that you would like. So let's follow along and learn how to make this waffle stitch baby blanket together. So for today's pattern, you're going to need 4 cakes of the Caron cake yarn. And you're going to need the color Rainbow Sprinkles. This is a number 4 worsted weight yarn, and it recommends a US H8 or 5mm crochet hook. This is hand wash or lay flat to dry, and it is 80% acrylic, 20% wool. And this is a 7.1 ounce skein, and it is 200 grams. It's 383 yards or 350 meters. Now, if you wanted to put this in the wash, you could do that. I would just use it on the gentle cycle, but it's really up to you if you want to hand wash it, lay flat to dry, or if you want to put it in the wash. If you look online, you can see different viewpoints on washing this type of yarn. So you're going to need 4 cakes of the Rainbow Sprinkles Caron Cakes yarn, and then you're also going to need a size I 9 5.5mm crochet hook for today's pattern. Now if you want to use any other yarn, you're going to need about 1,532 yards of any worsted weight yarn. Now if you're using a skinnier yarn, or if you're using a thicker yarn, you're going to need more or less, so just keep that in mind as I'm using worsted weight yarn for today's project. So the finished baby blanket that I have here is going to be 35 by 37 inches long, and you can always customize that by making a different chain multiple. So to start the waffle stitch baby blanket, you're just going to need to make a chain of 137 or any multiple of 3 plus 2. So that means you're going to have any multiple of 3, and then once you have your desired width, you're just going to add 2 more chains to the very end. So again, you want to have a multiple of 3 plus 2, or if you're following along with today's tutorial, you're going to need to make 137 chains. So let me just zoom up real fast for you. So to make a chain, you're just going to yarn over your hook and insert through that loop on your hook. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So go ahead and complete your 137 chains, and I will meet back up with you and we will continue and start row 1. Okay, so I have my chain of 137. So to start row 1, you're going to make 1 double crochet into the 3rd chain from your hook. So the loop on your hook does not count. You're going to count 3 chains from your hook. So 1, 2, and 3, and you're going to make a double crochet. So yarn over your hook, insert your hook into that third chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And that is your first double crochet. Next, you're going to make 1 double crochet in each of the chains across. So again, in that very next chain, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now, if you're a very beginner but you would like to try this pattern, I highly recommend getting a stitch marker and placing it on your very first stitch so that way you know where the start of your row is. And then once you get to the very end, you also want to place another stitch marker with your very last stitch of the row. So that way you have an idea of where the beginning and ending of each row is and you're not getting confused. So for row 1, it's just going to be very simple. You're just going to make 1 double crochet in each of the chains across until you get to the very end. So just make 1 double crochet in each chain across, and I will meet back up with you and we will start row 2, which will start to form our waffle stitch pattern. Okay, so I just finished my first row of double crochets, and at the end of row 1 you should have 135 double crochets. So to start row 1, or start row 2 rather, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. You're going to work a double crochet into the very first stitch. So you're going to skip that chain 1, and in this very first stitch right here you're going to make a double crochet. Next, you're going to work a front post double crochet into the next stitch. So to make a front post double crochet, you're going to yarn over, you're going to go in front, and you're going to go behind that post of the stitch. So the post is on top of your crochet hook, yarn over, pull back through that post, and complete your double crochet as normal. Next, you're going to work 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So you already worked in this stitch, so you're going to work in the next 2 stitches a regular double crochet. So in the next 2 stitches, just work 1 double crochet, just like that. And in the next stitch, you're going to work another front post double crochet. So you just worked in this stitch right here. So in this stitch right here, you're going to work a front post double crochet. So again, yarn over your hook, insert your hook from right to left underneath that post, so the post is on top of your crochet hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And this is going to start to form your waffle stitch. And you're just going to repeat this all the way across. So again, in the next 2 stitches, you're going to make 1 double crochet. And then in the stitch after that, you're going to work a front post double crochet. Again, you're going to work 1 double crochet in the top of the next 2 double crochet stitches, and then in the stitch after that you're going to work 1 front post double crochet. So repeat this all the way across to the end of your row, and I will show you how to end row 2 as well as move on to row 3. Okay, so I just worked my last front post double crochet, and in the very last stitch right here, all you're going to do is make 1 double crochet. And then this is what your first 2 rows are going to look like. You can kind of see the waffle pattern forming a little bit, as well as the color changing yarn. But once you make a couple more rows, you'll really start to see the pattern forming. So to start row 3, you're going to chain up 1 and turn your work. For row 3, you're going to work 1 double crochet into the very first stitch. So again, you're going to skip that chain 1, and in this very first stitch right here, you're going to make 1 double crochet. Next, you're going to work a double crochet into the next stitch. So the very next stitch right here, you're going to work another double crochet. And in the stitch after that, you're going to make a front post double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So these 2 stitches right here, you're going to make a front post double crochet. So again, yarn over your hook, and you're going to go from right to left over. You're going to go underneath that post, so the post is on top of your crochet hook, yarn over, pull through, and then finish the double crochet as normal. So pull through 2, pull through 2. And you're going to do this for the very next stitch. So front post double crochet. In the stitch after that, you're going to make 1 double crochet. And in the next 2 stitches, you're going to make a front post double crochet. So again, you're going to repeat this all the way down. So you're going to have your double crochet, and in the next 2 stitches, you're going to have 1 front post double crochet. In the next stitch after that, you're going to work 1 regular double crochet. So you're going to repeat this until you have 2 stitches remaining, and I will show you how to end row 3 as well as move on to row 4. Okay, so I'm coming up to the end of row 3 and I have 2 stitches left. So I'm just going to make 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches to finish out row 3. And then this is what row 3 looks like. So if we just flip our blanket over, you can really start to see the waffle stitch forming a little bit. And this is going to be the front of your blanket and then the back of your blanket. And they're going to be looking a little bit different. So the waffle pattern is going to be on your front, and then this is what the back of your blanket is going to look like. So for the waffle stitch baby blanket, you're just going to repeat rows 2 and 3 over and over again until you reach your desired length of your blanket. So again, you're just going to chain 1 and turn your work. And in that very first stitch, you're going to make a regular double crochet. In the next stitch after that, you're going to make a front post double crochet. In the next 2 stitches after that, you're going to make 1 regular double crochet. And then you're going to repeat this. So in the next stitch after that, you're going to make a front post double crochet. In the next 2 stitches, you're going to make 1 regular double crochet. And again, in that stitch after that, you're going to make a front post double crochet. And as you can see, your waffle stitch is starting to form. So just repeat rows 2 and 3 over and over again. I will meet back up with you to show you how to change skeins or change colors if you're using this, if you're making this blanket in a different color. So I will meet up with you when I have a few more rows and I am running out of my first skein. So again, just repeat rows 2 and 3 over and over again, and I will meet back up with you and show you how to change colors or change skeins. Okay, so I worked more of my waffle stitch blanket and I'm at the end of my skein. So in order to change skeins, you're going to finish the stitch but do not complete the stitch, And again, you want to leave a little bit of a tail just so you can weave it in later. So almost complete the stitch and grab that new skein, simply lay it over your hook, and then complete the stitches normal. And then you would go about making the blanket as you normally would, and you would do this every time you need to change skeins. Now for the self-striping yarn that I'm using, I'm again using the Caron cake yarn in Rainbow Sprinkles. Now for one of my skeins, I did not have the perfect rainbow sequence, so in order to get that sequence, I had to kind of pick apart that cake of yarn in order to continue with my sequence of the red, orange, yellow, green, and blue. So if you need to do that to complete your blanket in order to make it more in line with the rainbow sequence, you can definitely do that. However, if you're one of those people that just says whatever goes, goes, you don't really have to worry about that as much, as whatever color comes out next, and both ways are equally beautiful. I've done this blanket before in a different color, and I have used, again, self-striping yarn, and I just used whatever came out of the cake, and I didn't really pay too much attention to the color sequence of that particular yarn. So it's really up to you on what you would like to do. So just kind of keep that in mind, whether you want to continue with the sequence or if you want to just have the colors come out at random. But once you change skeins, again, you're just going to continue your blanket as normal. So keep making your blanket until you have almost your fourth skein completed, and this will have your blanket be about 37 inches long. So keep making your waffle blanket, and I will meet up with you at the end in order to show you how to make the simple border that I made with this blanket. Okay, I finished my blanket, and again it measures almost 37 inches long, and I did end with the row 2 look to the blanket, and then that way it mirrors the beginning of the blanket, which if we look here really fast, this is what the start of your blanket looks like. So you want to mimic that by making the top of your blanket the exact same way. So you want to end with a row 2 row, so it looks like this with that waffled stitch on the very top. So if you would like to continue with the border, you can certainly do that. However, if you do not want to make a border, that is okay as well. So all you want to do is you want to chain 1 and turn your work. And you're just simply going to make 1 single crochet in each of the stitches across the top of your blanket. So in this very first stitch, you're going to make a single crochet. So you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. And you're just going to continue that all the way across the top of your blanket. So continue making 1 single crochet across the top of your blanket in each stitch across, and I will meet up with you to show you how to work the side of your blanket. So once you reach your first corner, you're going to find your corner, and you're going to make 3 single crochets all into that corner space, and that's just going to help round out your corner. So again, you want to make 3 single crochets all into that corner space. And now working down the side of your blanket, you're just going to crochet evenly down the side of your blanket. So just kind of eyeball it. And make your single crochet stitches. and I kind of make about 2 stitches per row, so that means you should have 2 single crochets here, 2 single crochets here, and so on. Now if you prefer to go around the post instead of in the chains of the post, you can certainly do that, or you can go in the chains themselves. So it's really up to you on what you would like to do, whatever is easier for you. But as long as you try and make your stitches as evenly as you can down the sides of your blanket. Now this is going to be the same for the other side of your blanket, and then when you get to the bottom of your blanket, it's going to be similar to the top. You're just going to do 1 single crochet in each of the stitches across the bottom of your blanket, and then again you're going to make 3 single crochets in each of the corner stitches. So complete your blanket as normal like I showed you. So you're going to make 1 single crochet across the top of your blanket, 3 single crochets in that corner stitch, and then 1 single crochet as evenly as you can along the sides of your blanket. Again, you're going to make about 2 single crochets per row, and you're going to make 3 single crochets in your next corner. Around the bottom of your blanket, 1 single crochet in each of the stitches, and then when you get to the very end of your blanket, so you come back to the very beginning, remember you have that 1 single crochet in the very first stitch. So when you get back to this corner, you're only going to make 2 single crochets in that very last corner because you have that 1 single crochet already. So you're going to add 2 more single crochets, and then you're going to slip stitch everything together, and then at the very end you're going to weave in your ends. So this is what the waffle stitch blanket looks like. Again, you can have all these beautiful colors together. Don't limit yourself to just the rainbow color like I used here. You can certainly use the rainbow color if you like. You can use separate skeins of the rainbow colors in order to get the same effect. However, if you want to use a different color or a different self-striping color, or even just a solid color, you can certainly do that as well. I've seen many versions of the colors of this blanket that people have sent me after they've made this blanket, or after just looking around on YouTube and on Google Images. So you can definitely use whatever color that you would like for this blanket. And again, here is what the waffle stitch looks like up close. It's a really soft and chunky blanket. It's a pretty thick blanket, so you can also use this for a play mat for your child if you want to do that. You can always make it a little bit bigger if you want to just lay your child on the play mat, or you can use this for a thicker baby blanket during the winter time, or even a throw blanket if you wanted to do that as well. I've seen this blanket made in this baby size as well as all the way up to a king size blanket. So it's really up to you on size. You just want to change the multiple of your blanket, which I told you at the beginning of this video. So thank you so much for joining me today on learning how to make the waffle stitch baby blanket. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Please like, comment, and subscribe to see all future videos by me. And as always, happy crocheting! Bye!